If human society were a generating organism, it would not require a government. Its limbs and organs would then have arisen by gradual segregation and distinction within a self-developing and self-reproducing body. So a seed possesses from the beginning a specific power of growth, and so far as circumstances provoke and permit it, all those eventual limbs and organs must then remain rooted in a single body, and can live only by inclusion in this collective life. If ever one of them was maimed or hindered in its action, all the others would more or less remotely feel the shock, and if possible, by transfusion of their vital energy, would help to repair the damage. Thus, all natural organisms, even if injured only in part, in some measure, suffer and recover as units. Notoriously, they awake, move, fight, and die as units. No inorganic aggregate, such as human society, has this vital unity. It forms a colony of units, many perhaps derived from one another and collaborating, while others may have attached themselves, ready-made, to the group, or may hang on to its fringes as parasites or rebels. The life of the society as a whole will be a mere resultant. Feeling, intention, and vital initiative can spring up only in one or another of its members. Yet this actual life, in particular psyches, is itself organic, even if separately only vegetative and unconscious. The successive phases and epidemic passions of a society have therefore a marked analogy to the animal and moral life of an individual. The phrases like the spirit of an age or nation, of the will of a people, though metaphors, are apt and convenient. Much nonsense, however, passes for insight when the essential dynamic unity in a society is material only, and its moral unity mythical or verbal, while the moral character of a psyche, in passion and in thought, is actual, and its dynamic physical unity thereby becomes personal. Nothing, however, condemns poets, philosophers, or even historians for being more interested in ideal harmonies than in psychological facts. That is merely a matter of individual character. Are you more deeply stirred by astronomy, or by the misery of mongrel and stray dogs? If society does not actually feel or think, actual feeling or thinking, in its turn, is not a society of self-existing ideas, or perceptions, as British empiricism would have it. Actual sensibility is a function of the total psyche in its total balance and momentum at any time. Particular ideas or feelings are only momentary focal points or features in this total apparition. All the instruments in the psychic orchestra are playing, or have played, or are ready to play, and the latent rhythms or strains fill the vague background of somatic feeling. We are alive with changing needs, and there is a world to supply or deny them, or to break in upon us with arbitrary assaults. These assaults, and the sharp reaction they cause, for a moment absorb attention, and for a bystander seem, like a cry, the first and separate evidence of life in the other creature. But for this creature himself, his cries, reactions, and sudden perceptions are transient variations in a continuous broad stream of existence, without clear boundaries. In this continuum, particular perceptions arise, vary, and lapse, like so many waves. Caricature and artifice would not go further than to reduce this awareness of restless existence to a few pictorial features or cries that receive names as if they were separate, unconnected events, though absolutely self-existent and groundless, could pop up again more faintly in memory and could produce a new perception of their past relations of succession and difference. This potential revival of past perceptions really occurs, and they may perhaps recur very much as they came, but now they will always be framed in a new perspective, drawn from the whole life of the psyche, since they first appeared. Such recurrence is naturally explicable only because the same living organism endures, with its always total, though always differently focused and selective consciousness. So the feelings that were once new and central recur marginally or merely suggest themselves, whenever the original process that caused them is reawakened in the organism. Yet those feelings now reappear in a perspective that lends them a removed station in time together with a dramatic and legendary quality, for they now seem ghostly in contrast with the foreground of crude sensation due to present surroundings and to the moral climate of the psyche today. This protest of actual apprehension against the verbal reduction of conscious life to detached and definable sensations may be confirmed by a logical analysis of the spectacle of the world as we constantly find it. It is a world all depth, motion, and variation in space and time. Yet, evidently, it is only within the compass of a synthetic glance that related terms, contrasts, and temporal perspectives can appear at all. The whole wealth of imagination or knowledge ever actually possessed by the spirit must be crowded into a single picture, filling and constantly overflowing the scope of apprehension. Not all can be named or distinguished at any one moment, yet the recent and the coming revelations are neither lost nor unexpected, but are posited and felt to complete the passing procession in a manifold order that the eye may never exhaust, so that it is, for us, by the very partiality and transitoriness of each apprehension, that the greatness of the object and its eternal order are divine. For those past or future reactions have all been planted or become seminal in a single living organism, to whose apprehension they never appear wholly separate and absolute, but always as interruptions and incidents in a fundamentally continuous and equable life, where each is seen from its birth in its temporal and logical relations. Mind has this comprehensive outlook because it is the sensibility proper to an animal psyche, full of specific potentialities responsive to specific impressions, vital reactions naturalized in the psyche and revived on occasion as memories and habits. Mind can therefore arise only in individual living beings. Occasional aggregates, like governments and societies, cannot be rationally guided except by the mind of some individual. And the vicarious wisdom that may be found in intuitions and laws, once devised by some sage, loses its value in proportion to the degree of change in the world to which it is applied, until some new sage arises to adapt that wisdom to the later tensions between man and things. Politicians may seem to be pitted only against one another, but except in the measure in which they speak for natural forces, or control them, their hopes and their hatreds are entirely groundless. Spirit can never fear or oppose spirit, save for animating and serving some material engine.